Okay, we're out here in the shed today and I just wanted to shoot a really quick video for you on a simple setup that I'm using right now to start some baby chicks. Like many people, we have our own small flock of chickens, and in small volumes, starting your chicks can be as simple as a plastic tote like this and a light. So let's turn the camera around. We'll take a quick look and see what we've got going on in there. Talk you through the basics of getting this set up so that if you're interested in starting chickens for the first time this year, you'll know what you need to look for. Okay, so as you can see, our setup here is pretty simple. We have one of those large totes from Home Depot, I think is where we got it. It's a pretty large size. I think there might be one size bigger that you could go, but honestly this is just one that I had laying around. Grabbing some chicks was kind of a snap decision, and so this system is set up. Now, the number one thing that you need when you're thinking about raising chicks is a heat source, and so you'll see that we have the metal reflective lamp there with one of those heat generating bulbs. I think it's a 200-watt heat lamp bulb. I'll put a link down in the description so you know what exactly you're looking for. There are better versions of that light that are probably safer than that light, but the system has worked for us a number of times, and so that's what we use. Now, in order to control temperature for them, you need to be able to raise and lower the light. And so what I've done for now, quite simply, is just have this board leaned up against over there so that we can just adjust the clamp there and move it up and down the board as the heat needs of those chicks change. You can put a thermometer down in there, but a really simple solution to figure things out is if they are all huddled right there directly underneath the light, then they're probably too cold. If they're all hiding clear over here, staying away from the light, then you probably have the light too low and it's too hot. So they will tell you what temperature they like best based on where they are underneath the light. Okay, and then other than that, all you need is a simple waterer. Okay, now you'll notice that they're back there hanging out on the brick that I put in there, and I elevated that waterer, and you can see why. Like, there's a little bit of sawdust in there. It would be 10 times worse if I had it set down directly on the ground. That's just experience talking. I've done this a number of times, and when you do that, they just naturally flick some stuff around and throw stuff into that watering dish, and it'll just be full of sawdust. So get it elevated up a little bit higher and you don't have to clean it out nearly as much. The other thing that happens, since we have it located where it is that rock, brick, whatever the right term is, gets pretty warm under that light, which allows them a nice place to kind of go and sit and hang out and get warmed up if they need to. They're back in that corner quite a bit with this current setup, so it's worked out well. The other thing that setup has done for us, you can see a little bit of it left there now. That fine powdery stuff is actually the feed, and what we do while they're small is pretty much every time we come in here, we just take a little bit of this feed and we'll crush it up over there to make it a little bit smaller for them so that they're not having to eat. Like, they can't eat that right now, they're too little for that. So we just crush it up a little bit and make sure that they have some nice small pieces, so that they can make sure that they get what they need to. And then with this small volume, a simple jar chick feeder like that is sufficient. I have this old salsa, mustard, whatever container just set on top more than anything, just to keep them from walking around on the inside of it. And they've been in this setup for 2 or 3 days now and seem to be doing just fine. So just a real quick review as we scroll through here on the things a baby chick needs. First, they need containment. You have to keep them safe from any predators or anything like that. Heat, we use a 200-watt lamp to make sure they're warm enough. We feed medicated chick starter, and we water in a way that avoids the bedding mess. We also try to give them a little bit of grit, some fine sand, and make sure that their bedding stays clean so that they don't make themselves sick. Your chicks will need about 30 days to grow out, and as they do so, their need for heat will decrease, so you can raise that lamp a little bit higher as you go. Okay, so there you guys go. That's my simple method for getting chicks started. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them down in the comments below. If you use a system similar to this, by all means, share it down in the comments. Let's learn from each other. It's a great time for people to be starting these fun adventures, trying to be a little bit more sustainable, so let's make this a place where we can all learn from each other. I'll put some other links in the description as well to some other resources that I've found over the years and some other content that I've created on different platforms related to raising chickens. If you're interested, you can check that out too. That's all for this time. We'll catch you later.